Welcome to Universitas Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Yogyakarta, a prestigious state university in Indonesia, located in a special region of Yogyakarta. Through its academic program, UPN Veteran Yogyakarta is committed to providing high-quality education in science, technology, and business, focusing on innovation, research, and community service. UPN Veteran Yogyakarta encourages individual potential and contributes positively to Indonesia progress with a spirit of patriotism. UPN Veteran Yogyakarta has a rich history rooted in Indonesia independence movement. Founded in 1958 as Akademi Pembangunan Nasional Veteran, it was established by freedom fighters to honor their legacy. In 1965, the institution evolved into Perguruan Tinggi Pembangunan Nasional Veteran. Over the years, it expanded with branches in Surakarta, Surabaya, and Jakarta, offering diverse programs in medicine, business, and maritime studies. In 1977, PTPN became Universitas Pembangunan Nasional Veteran, focusing on developing skilled professionals. The university transitioned to a private institution in 1995 and later regained its state university status in 2014 under the Ministry of Education and Culture. Today, UPN Veteran Yogyakarta is a dynamic educational hub, offering a wide range of programs in science, technology, and business, while continuing its legacy of leadership and patriotism. One of UPN Veteran Yogyakarta pride is the Faculty of Economic and Business, FEB, where Indonesia youth are prepared to become future leader, innovative, competent, and patriotic. FEB was established on October 26, 1959. As the Department of Corporate Leadership under Akademi Pembangunan Nasional. In 1965, it became part of the newly formed Perguruan Tinggi Pembangunan Nasional, and in 1977, it joined UPN Veteran Yogyakarta. A major milestone occurred in 1993, when FEB expanded to include the two departments, economics and accounting. Now, FEB UPN Veteran Yogyakarta boasts 6 study programs: management, accounting, economics, Master of Economics, Master of Management, and Master of Accounting. FEB provides high-quality education supported by competent faculty, modern facilities, and outstanding accreditation. Every program in FEB is supported by dedicated facilities, such as laboratories, to ensure an optimal learning experience. To provide comfort and convenience, FEB offers various amenities, including a mosque, cafeteria, dormitories, a clinic, and university-owned mini-market. The faculty is equipped with comprehensive facilities, including modern classrooms, computer laboratories, seminar rooms, and 4 interconnected buildings with elevator access. The department is the Faculty of Business Economic. UPN Veteran Yogyakarta consists of Management Program. The Management Program prepares students to excel as successful manager, focusing on marketing, finance, human resources, operation, and strategic management, all grounded in strong ethical principles. This program also offers a double degree option, allowing students to earn an additional degree from an international partner university, enhancing their global competitiveness. Accounting Program. The accounting program equips students to identify, measure, and report financial information for decision-making, with core studies in financial accounting, auditing, taxation, management accounting, and public sector accounting. These areas provide comprehensive foundation to prepare students for the first professional roles in both private and public sector. Economics Development Program. The Economics Development Program trains students to analyze and address development issues in business, finance, and banking, fostering critical thinking and innovative solutions for national progress. The program offers concentration in Sharia economics, property economics, natural resource and environmental economics, as well as institutional economics, providing students with specialized knowledge to address complex economic challenges in various sectors. Master of Management Program. The Master of Management Program offers advanced management competency, guided by Pancasila values and a commitment to national development. Students can also take advantage of the double degree program, which provides an opportunity to gain an internationally recognized degree alongside their UPN qualification, equipping them for leadership roles on a global scale. Master of Accounting Program. The Master of Accounting program is designed with a cutting-edge curriculum to produce highly skilled professional accountants, supported by 11 faculty members with doctoral degree, certified in various competencies, and enriched by experienced practitioners. This program ensures graduate possess advanced expertise and leadership in the accounting field. The program also offers concentration in mining accounting and public accounting, equipping students with specialist knowledge to excel in this dynamic and essential sector. Master of Economic Program. The Master of Economic Program aims to unlock students' full potential, shaping them into individuals with outstanding character, knowledge, and skill. This program equips graduates with the ability to adapt to challenges in the workplace and the area by emphasizing the development of soft skills and technical expertise, particularly in the field of economy. Besides academic activities, FEB hones student skill through a variety of student organizations, including the Student Executive Board, BEM, the Student Legislative Council, DPM, the Capital Market Study Group, the Research and Development Team of FEB, and the LPM Clearing under the direct supervision of the faculty. The department level, each program has its own student association, such as WIMAYA, HIMASI, and HIMASEPA, along with specialized study group to further enhance learning opportunities. With all its programs accredited by government agency, the Faculty of Economic and Business at UPN Veteran Yogyakarta has produced outstanding alumni who now contribute to and lead national and multinational companies. Under the leadership of its dean and faculty team, FEB remains dedicated to providing top-tier education that meets contemporary challenges. With patriotism at its core value, the Faculty of Economic and Business at UPN Veteran Yogyakarta stand ready to produce resilient, ethical graduates who will make meaningful contribution to the nation and the world. For more information, visit FEB official website at www.economyupnyk.ac.id.
Welcome to AIBPM, the Association of International Business and Professional Management.
We connect academics, professionals, and students worldwide.
Through international conferences, workshops, publications, and global projects, with more than 5,600 members and partnerships across leading universities. NIBPM is building a strong global network in education, business, and professional management.
Hi, my name is Roland Perdana. I think this is a very good opportunity to join this conference.
Hello, my name is Ferry Prastia. I am very happy to join this international seminar with AIBPM, and it is a good impression for me to enrich my knowledge.
Hello, my name is Bogejon Sodikov. I'm from Tajikistan. We are so happy that we join such kind of conference.
Join us and be part of the international movement. AIBPM. Innovate, collaborate, inspire.
Good morning, distinguished guests, respected professors, researchers, students, and all participants. On behalf of the keynote speakers and the organizing committee, I would like to extend my warmest congratulations on the successful organization of the 5th WIMAYA International Conference hosted by UPM's veterans, Yogyakarta. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and very warm greetings to the researchers, participants, experts from around the world to the 5th WIMAYA International Conference. This event is organized by UPN veteran Yogyakarta, and I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the organizing team for putting together the experts and enthusiasts from around the world. I look forward in engaging some good and fruitful discussions and learning from your experiences. And thank you for inviting me as a keynote speaker. I wish the conference a great success, and also let's make this conference a memorable one. Thank you so much.
Good evening to all the distinguished guests, lecturers, professors, speakers, and all the participants. My name is Teo Boon Pyong, one of the keynote speakers for 5th WIMAYA International Conference. I would like to express a full gratitude to the organizing party, which is UPN Veteran Yogyakarta, for organizing this 5th International Conference successfully. On behalf of all the keynote speakers and the organizing committee.
Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed professors, fellow researchers, and their participants. I am Dr. Samriti Mahajan, and I am honored to join you as the keynote speaker for the international conference. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the AIBPM and UPN veteran Yogyakarta for the successful organization of this prestigious conference. Your collective efforts in fostering research, innovation, and global collaboration are truly commendable. Wishing everyone an inspiring and impactful conference ahead. Congratulations once again.
distinguished keynote speakers, our respected Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Business, respected Deans, our Honorable Head of Department, distinguished guest professor, researcher, industry practitioner, and all participants joining us today from Indonesia and more than 400 online attendees from various countries around the world. Good morning and welcome to the 5th WIMAYA International Conference 2025. It is great honor for me as the Rector of UPN Veteran Yogyakarta to officially welcome all of you to this prestigious international scientific gathering which bring together knowledge, expertise, innovation, and collaborative spirit from different disciplines across the globe. Allow me to also express my sincere appreciation to AIBPM, the Association of International Business and Professional Management, for being the organizing partner of this conference and successfully connecting universities, researchers, and professionals from multiple nations in one platform. AIBPM continues to be one of the leading and consistent academic events organizer in Indonesia for global scientific collaboration. Thank you for this collaboration. I also would like to express my special appreciation and gratitude to our keynote speakers who have traveled intellectual and spiritually with their dedication for knowledge and joining us today. We are honored by the presence of our distinguished keynote expert from India, Pakistan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia. Thank you for contributing your insight to this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, our theme this year is From Green Economy to Smart Management, Integrating AI, Technology, and Accounting for Sustainable Growth. This theme is very relevant, very urgent, and very strategic. What is this theme important globally? Because the paradigm of development is shifting. The world is moving from merely growing economy toward sustainable growth. The world cannot only focus on GDP anymore. Today, the world is focusing on ESG, environmental social governance. According to Bloomberg, global ESG assets are projected to reach 53 trillion USD by 2025. The International Energy Agency also reported that the green economy transition from renewable energy, electric vehicle, smarter supply chain, digital efficiency, carbon accounting, climate risk modeling could create 14 million new jobs globally by 2030. But this transition only become impactful when they are supported by smart management, accurate accounting, transparent auditing, and technology. That is why our team integrated green economy, artificial intelligence, technology innovation, accounting, and financial integrity, smart management. Because sustainability without management is only a dream. And management without technological innovation will not be competitive globally. What is this team strategy for Indonesia? Indonesia is entering a golden moment. Indonesia is projected by PYC and McKinsey to become the fourth largest economy in the world by 2045. Indonesia now has 280 million population, a strong domestic consumer market, and one of the largest digital economy in Southeast Asia. Our digital economy value is projected to reach USD 146 billion by 2025. We have enormous potential, largest nickel reserve for electric batteries, one of the biggest producer of palm oil for bioenergy, rapid acceleration of fintech and digital banking, rising AI adoption in government and corporate sector. But potential is not enough. We need transformation. We need smart governance. We need smart accounting. We need smart management. And we need AI adoption not just as a tool, but as a decision-making partner. The World Economic Forum report that AI could contribute USD 15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. Countries that adopt early will be win the future because the platform become a bridge between green economy policy frameworks, AI-powered business model, technology-based financial reporting, sustainable management practice, academic research, and industry reality. This conference is not just a meeting. This is an accelerator to prepare the next generation of sustainable leaders, an accelerator to create new knowledge, an accelerator to form international collaboration that can produce joint research, joint publication, and new innovation that will support the national and global development. Once again, allow me to express deep appreciation to the Dean, Dr. Januar Eko Prastyo, and all faculty leaders of Faculty of Economy and Business UPN Veteran Yogyakarta, Dr. Heru Trisutyono, Head of Committee, to all committees that have worked days and in night preparing this event, to AIBPM team for this professional support, to all keynote speakers who are willing to contribute their expertise, to all presenters who have submitted papers from various universities, and to all participants, more than 400 online participants from various countries. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for choosing WIMAYA as part of your academic and professional journey. Ladies and gentlemen, let this conference be a place for new knowledge, a place for new global market networks, a place where academic, researchers, students, practitioners, and professionals work together to build a future that is greener, smarter, and more sustainable. With humility and gratitude, I hereby officially open the 2025 5th WIMAYA International Conference. May Allah SWT bless this conference with success, meaningful insight, and impactful outcomes. Thank you very much.
Morning, Dr. Ho. Let me also introduce you before I hand over to you. Dr. Danny Ho is currently an assistant professor in the Department of Supply Chain and Information Management at the Hang Seng University of Hong Kong, HSUHK. Previously, he held teaching and research positions at the Hong Kong Polytech University. And before entering academia, he worked for a global sourcing company providing merchandising services to leading retailers and brands worldwide. In the 2025-26 academic year, Dr. Ho serves as Program Director for the MSc in Global Supply Chain Management and Associate Director of the Supply Chain Excellence and Innovation Center at HSUHK. Dr. Ho holds a master's in science in management of manufacturing from Coventry University, UK, a Master of Philosophy in Industrial Engineering and Engineering Management from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, and a Doctor of Philosophy from the Hong Kong Polytech University. Dr. Ho is a member of the editorial board for the Digital Business Organization section of the Journal of Theoretical and Applied Electronic Commerce Research. Dr. Ho also serves as associate editor for the Sustainable Supply Chain Management section of Frontiers in Sustainability. His research interests include Belt and Road trade analysis using econometric and machine learning methods, global supply chain management, and sustainable development. His work has been published in international journals such as the International Journal of Production Research, Corporate Social Responsibility and Environmental Management, Journal of Shipping and Trade, and Sustainability, amongst others. Dr. Ho, welcome. Over to you.
Thank you. All right, so now I would like to share my screens. Right, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 5th WIMAYA International Conference. I'm Danny Ho from the Hang Seng University of Hong Kong, and I'm honored to speak with you today. My topic is AI-enabled circular economy, reshaping supply chains for sustainable growth. So why this topic? Because global supply chains are currently facing high pressure, including resource scarcity, climate change, and geopolitical tensions. They are forcing us to rethink how we create value. Circular economy offers a solution, and AI makes it scalable and intelligent. And these presentations will synthesize current research on how the powerful integration of AI and circular economy practices is defining value creation for supply chains. So specifically, I would like to share with you how they enable operations optimization across life cycle phases and their impact on firms' performance outcomes. So let's begin with some contextual information. So the overwhelming majority of the global economy still operates under a linear model. So this traditional model treats valuable resources as disposable assets, which generates significant environmental risk and promotes economic inefficiency. So according to the Circularity Gap Report 2024, nearly 92% of the global economy is still linear. So simply put, this take, make, and waste approach is not sustainable. What we need is transformation toward the circular economy. It replaces linear model. It focuses on reduction, reuse, refurbishment, and recycling of products and materials. The requirements for circular economy is driven by the urgent need to conserve resource amidst supply chain disruptions and resource scarcity. Circular economy also aims to combat climate change, pollution, and biodiversity loss through reducing waste and greenhouse gas emission, according to the United Nations Environment Program. For researchers in supply chain management, the transition to circularity is not just about managing material flows. It represents a fundamental change. We would like to redesign value networks. And this shift delivers circular value creation, which functions as a growth strategy aimed at delivering sustainable performance outcomes across life cycle stages. To illustrate this tangible transformation, let's consider the example of sustainable beer. It is a concept where brewing utilizes surplus bread and transforming food waste effectively into a premium product. So this exemplifies the closed loop supply chains that move beyond disposal toward resource reintegration. And here is a successful case in the United Kingdom. And this company called Toast Brewing has been making beer with surplus bread since 2016. And this is circularity in action, turning food waste into value, helping a company to create new revenue streams, and more importantly, create positive impacts to the natural environment and the community. And all these performance outcomes are quantifiable and measurable. For example, on their website, they disclose environmental information, performance information like amount of food waste rescued, reduction of CO2 emissions, energy and water consumption, and so on and so forth. So more importantly, we would like to expand the scope and scale up the circular operations by using AI in different stages of a supply chain. AI functions as the brain of circular supply chains. For example, it optimizes collection of food waste, ensure quality compliance, helps to predict demand more accurately, and support operations. So this intelligence layer makes circular systems more adaptive and efficient. So with the use of AI, we can apply best circular practices across sectors, not just limited to the food industry, but also includes other sectors like fashion, electronics, and beyond. So now let us examine how AI is applied to major life cycle phases for circular economy, ranging from design to production, use and service phase, and finally, reverse logistics and end of life. So let's begin with design. In this phase, the objective is to create products for durability. We want to extend the life of the product. But we have to begin that from design. And practices like modular approach to product design also helps to prolong the life. So if one module of the product fails, we can easily just replace that part or that module, and then we just keep using the product. We would also like to design products for recyclability, like design for disassembly. Through design, if we are able to make the products that easily disassembled at the end of its life, that helps the recycling process and reducing environmental impact. But it has to start from design. So AI application in this phase include generative design, machine learning based material property predictions, AI-driven life cycle assessments. And moving to the second stage is about production. The goal is to optimize resource use and reduce waste and emissions during manufacturing. So AI application here involves process optimization using machine learning methods, creation of digital twins for circular flow simulations, and we can also apply computer visions for defect detection. These AI applications aims to make better products. So if the quality of a product can be improved, then there will be less waste to the environment. And so these applications rely on different techniques like reinforcement learning for scheduling, use of neural networks for quality control. And after production, it would be the use and service phase. The core objectives are to extend product life and enable shared models like product as a service. AI supports this phase through predictive maintenance, usage analytics for shared assets, and behavioral AI designed to encourage circular consumption. So different techniques like time series forecasting that involve LSTMs, algorithms, abnormality detections techniques can be used in this phase. And finally, is the reverse logistics and end-of-life phase. The objective is to recover materials and efficiently reintegrate them into the circular loops. Applications include automated sorting with computer vision, smart collections, routines, and recycling process optimization. Again, in here, we can make use of AI algorithms like neural networks for material identification, machine learning for route optimization. So in fact, the practices I just mentioned have been examined by some recent studies through the design and production stage. So if you're interested, you can refer to these different studies for details. And some studies focus on application of AI for circular economy in the use stage and the final stage, end of life. Again, if you are interested in these studies, you can read these papers for details. And in the literature, we find that some studies conducted systematic review of studies that focus on application of AI for circular economy. And these findings confirm the transformative potential of AI. So key findings include like AI supports reverse logistics, recycling, sustainable manufacturing. AI enables system optimization, better use of resource, predictive maintenance, and waste reduction. And by using AI, firms can better track emissions and improve automated waste sorting and smart water distribution. In addition to the review studies, there are also some recent empirical studies that demonstrate tangible benefits from using AI-enabled circular practices in different contexts, including manufacturing, agricultural, and service sectors across countries. And both quantitative and qualitative methods have been applied by these empirical studies. Again, you can refer to them in the list for details. And across these different studies, several themes emerge. So I would like to briefly present them to you. First is AI is a core enabler of circular economy. And so, like I mentioned earlier, they point out that there are positive impacts AI can deliver to companies. But we would like to conduct further studies that focus on longitudinal approach to quantify AI's impact on the KPI over time across industries and countries. The second theme is these studies mention that AI is frequently used and integrated with other technologies like IoT for sensing, blockchain for traceability, and digital twins for simulation. So with the integration of these different tools, companies can enable high transparency and also improve loop closure. So further study may want to develop reference frameworks, reference architectures that specify data models, interfaces, and governance framework for integration of all these different technologies. And these studies also highlight the role of data-driven decision-making. So use of big data together with machine learning, companies can make better decisions, like develop optimize the route and improve the accounting for carbon reporting and resource planning. But we would like to do more, like create benchmark data sets and standardize evaluations metrics. And all studies note very strong sectorial patterns. From the findings, we know that the impacts and barriers differ by industry context. So we would like to, again, conduct more studies to build industry playbooks, specifying specific CE actions, AI technique for different sectors. And there are two other themes emerge from these different studies, like barriers for implementations and scaling up the operations. So they include factors like high energy and computational demands, uneven data quality and availability of required data, privacy constraints. And so I do believe, especially for developing economies, this high energy usage could be a high barrier. So we do believe that we want to conduct more research, for example, in developing greener AI models and approaches for CE practices. Other issues like ethical risk, governance issue. So we would like to join together with multiple parties like industry practitioners, policymakers, and other major stakeholders to develop this multi-stakeholder governance framework to ensure responsible AI use for circular economy. And these studies also highlight organizational change and adoption resistance. So future studies may want to examine different interventions, measures like financial, non-financial incentives to drive organizational readiness for using AI in circular economy. So some incentives, schemes or interventions, measures may work for large companies, but they may not be effective for SME. So more studies should differentiate effective mechanisms for companies with different size. And these studies also call for common CE metrics and AI maturity pathways to facilitate comparisons of effectiveness of CE practice and performance measurements across contexts. So at last, these studies show that many benefits demonstrates in pilots only, and also for large enterprises. So SME face resource and knowledge constraints. So future studies may want to focus on lightweight AI toolkits, sort of this DIY approach for SME. Now, we would like to transit to a key questions for business and management and researchers. How do CE practices translate into firm performance? So from the literature, different mechanisms related to operations, finance, strategy, and social performance have been identified. So they include resource efficiency and input cost reduction, practices like internal recycling, substituting virgin with secondary materials to lower material procurement costs and improve financial performance. But these outcomes are moderated by different factors like the degree of CE adoption and firm size. And the second mechanism is operational efficiency and process innovation. Digital tools and IoT-enabled tracking systems can be used in different phases like designs, reverse logistics, and they result in throughput gains, scrap reduction, shorter cycle times. But organizational agility and digital technology adoption are key moderators for these productivity gains. And some mechanisms focus on market. Practices like product as a service, leasing, refurbishment, and resale generate incremental and recurring service income. But moderators like market acceptance and effective pricing models could affect this relationship. And through practice like eco labels, take-back schemes, companies can achieve high brand equity, and charge price premiums for targeted market segments. And some mechanisms focus on risks, like using multi-sourcing of secondary materials and localized circular loops helps to reduce supply risk and lead to steadier margins, especially during market volatility. But infrastructure readiness, supply collaboration quality are important moderators here. Compliance and alignment with regulatory frameworks like the extended producer responsibility can provide firms with access to favorable financing and lower cost of capital. And the next mechanism is related to social and CSR performance. Practices like workforce CE training helps to enhance the company's CSR image and ratings, and also build stronger stakeholder trust. But this relationship depends on CSR program intensity. At last, it's about management and control system for CE performance. So through circular economy dashboards, using LCA tools, material flow analysis, managers can make better decisions. So all these mechanisms have been examined by recent studies. And for details, you may want to read these different papers. So these mechanisms, as I mentioned earlier, relates to resource efficiency, operational efficiency, development of new business model to generate revenue streams, and so on and so forth. So in addition to the mechanisms, recent review studies also highlight the impact of CE practices on firm performance. So the major findings confirms that there are positive impacts for CE on firms' performance. So it's not just these review studies. Some recent empirical studies also found these positive impacts of CE practices on firm performance. Again, if you're interested, you can refer to these studies for details because they have examined firms' performance during different time periods and also in different countries. So synthesizing from these different studies, we found that CE positively correlates with business performance. However, this link is moderated by different factors. For example, the positive link between a circular economy index and profitability is found to be stronger for large firms by study. And stakeholder engagement can amplify the positive effects of CE performance on financial outcomes. And it's also important to note that high upfront cost and complexity of eco-innovations can act as barriers to adoption, I think especially for SMEs.
Dr. Ho, we have 2 minutes left, please.
Right, thank you. So at last, to move the field forward, I would like to suggest some directions for further studies. First is we need to create a standard index to aid comparisons across different sectors and different companies. Second is we need multi-year panel studies and causal analysis. And the third is we may want to focus on building roadmaps for diverse sectors, including manufacturing, agriculture, services. At last, we would like to conduct robust socio-technical research to develop effective frameworks for data governance, privacy, and I think most importantly, organization adoption. So in conclusions, the AI-enabled circular economy represents the most significant opportunity for sustainable supply chain growth. And while the evidence base confirms a positive link to performance, our academic community must urgently address the challenges of governance, standardized metrics, and organizational resilience, so that we can fully develop the potential for AI-enabled circular economy. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Ho. If there are any questions, please enter them in the chat, and we'll use the time after the presentations for questions for Dr. Ho. Thank you, Dr. Ho. Let me introduce our next speaker, Mr. Teo Boon Keong from Vitrox College, Malaysia. Mr. Teo is a lecturer at Vitrox College, teaching mathematics to engineering and computer science students. His research is in numerical analysis, studying polynomial approximation and solving differential equations using orthogonal polynomials. Apart from numerical analysis, he's also interested in statistical analysis, data analytics, and calculus. Most of his studies are on the computational aspects of mathematics. Mr. Teo, welcome. The floor is yours.
Right. So thank you to the moderator of the conference. So first of all, let me share my screen. Okay. So yeah. First of all, a very good day to Professor Dr. Muhammad Ihas, Director of UPN Veteran Yogyakarta, distinguished guests, professors, lecturers, fellow innovators, and also ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, we often talk about the green economy, which is a concept that is in the there's a concept in the sky, which every one of us actually strive to achieve. So today I would like to present a new perspective on the green economy concept as a system. So which is the title that is AI in private and public sectors, a proposal of a framework. So like any system, for this framework, it actually needs an idea and also an architecture. Yeah, so my name is Teo Boon Kyung from Vitros College, and today we are going to talk about this in three different perspectives, okay, in which including artificial intelligence or AI, then technology, and also the accounting itself. Yeah. So in the next 20-minute presentation, I would like to first of all, introduce the background of AI in green economy, specifically in Malaysia perspective. And then I will also try to link AI and technology into a smart management framework. So this is in terms of the corporate itself, and then to relate them to the real cases that Malaysia companies are having for the moment. Yeah, and then I will also share my thoughts basically on the framework or the steps that the government can take in terms of the government or public sector itself. So we will see the collaboration with how can corporate and the public, they can cooperate with each other to reach the sustainability goals in this green economy. So looking back into Malaysia, so we actually have a Madani economy framework that being introduced in 2017. So this framework actually suggests a move from the conventional concept economy of production, which here we are making the things as cheap as possible, and we are talking about linear consumption. So basically, it is on the mass manufacturing and is on the depletion of the resources. Yeah, here the economy of production doesn't count into sustainability, and it is mainly focusing on how we can reduce the cost of manufacturing to achieve a higher output. Yeah, so the shift from economy of production to economy of preservation. So it is a huge move for us to achieve the sustainability goals. So when we move to economy of the preservation, this is actually a circular economy in which we are practicing sustainable goals, and also we focus on the renewable resources. Yeah, so here instead of utilizing the resources, we are creating value to sustain the resources, and this is a big steps or important steps for us to achieve sustainability. So this framework focusing on the renewable resources, in which are the solar energy and also the hydro-generated energy. So similarly, another plan, which is the new Industrial Master Plan or NIMP 2030. So they are one of the mission saying the push for the net zero. Here actually the government itself have set a target, which is they want to achieve 3,000 smart factories by 2030 to minimize the use of the logs and also the non-renewable resources. So from this convergence of the AI and also the green tech for the next 5 years, and we will approximate here that is 620,000 jobs in Malaysia will be directly affected by the convergence of this green technology itself. So in the line, sustainability has become the next industrial standard, not just a word that being mentioned by us from daily. So under this new policy and this new framework, there's a proposal to have two columns, which is the financial capital and the natural capital. So this financial capital is the conventional capital that we have in a company. Yeah, so this includes asset, liability, the equity, in which we measure from the monetary value without going through the environmental depletion itself. So it excludes the environmental depletion and the impact or the effect to the environment. So instead of financial capital, there's one new terms we call as natural capital. So this natural capital is actually talking about environmental effect, and this includes the sustainability itself. And to for a company to sustain, they need to balance in between financial capital and the natural capital for the sustainability itself. So if there's a failure to balance between these two, right? So they are actually taking on the obsolete management apart from the smart management that we have in this to achieve the sustainability goals itself. But there's a big problem here, or the big question mark on how we actually supposed to measure and how we going to balance in between both of these. Yeah, so this is the key for the modern management and also for the preservance of the environment. So actually, there's a smart manufacturing framework that being proposed by collaborating the smart manufacturing framework combined with the PDCA, that is the common terms in the management. So this can be actually done in a corporate or in the industrial level. Okay, so if you look into this flow chart, we are following the PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act, like the management, but we combine with the sustainability goals along the execution and the monitoring process. Yeah, so following this PDCA, right, the organization first in the planning stage, they can actually identify a standard. Yeah, in which this standard it is also part of the management, but need to abide by the standard that being set by the government and also by the industry. So these standards have to be aligned with the accepted practices and also the policies for each of the material utilized. And it is actually proposed to have this kind of the functions in accountant and also the person in charge for the environmental, social and governance, or ESG. So by collaborating the government policy of framework alignment into the standard that being set, especially on the material utilization, so this standard can be followed by the corporate, and for each of the material utilized, we can actually control and we can have a standard for them so that the corporate can execute and measure it after they collaborate the AI or technology into their system. So after planning, so here it comes to the second stage, which is on the do. So for the do itself, right, the corporate can actually establish a database system. So this database system, apart from record the basic financial costs, they can also record the environmental costs. So this cost, including the water and including all the resources that are actually taking. Okay, the water, the logs, and the habitat for each of the material that being utilized. So this part or this database system actually have to follow the standard that being set earlier during the planning stage. So here is the place where technology and AI can be incorporated into the IoT sensors and also the smart meters on the factory floor. So here, apart from the have a worker that read the meter manually. So they are actually we can have a AI algorithm that monitor the energy spikes in the real time. So here the standard itself, right, is very important because the manufacturing floor have to use the standard that being set during the planning stage, so that they can establish a database to record and to store the environmental costs, so that this can be displayed in the third page during the third steps during the checking step, in which you verify whether the real costs have following the standard that being set. So the smart monitoring dashboard is very important. So apart from taking the original or the conventional monitoring dashboard, so the AI can be incorporated into this smart monitoring dashboard. And from here, when the manager actually looking in the screen, they can look into the carbon cost that being put here. So if there's a warning that costs exceed the standard, then the warning will be initiated by the monitoring dashboard, so that the R&D following, they need only to focus on the sustainable innovation apart from the new innovation that we normally have. So apart from taking on the project idea, so the R&D should also take into the sustainability perspective during their innovation. So from here, the AI will actually monitor via this smart monitoring dashboard. And finally, after we getting all the smart monitoring dashboard, so their improvement can be suggested by the AI through the dashboard as well. So this can be achieved using the machine learning that enables the data prediction. And from here, there will be a better environment cost management, since from the perspective itself, the factory or the company can check whether the resources that being utilized actually following the standard being set. So if there's a too strict standard or being a too lenient, we say too lenient standard, then the cycle now will go back to the original planning stage, in which they have to identify and they have to demodify the standard that being set in the industry level. So that's why here we call this is a closed loop economy in terms of the manufacturing or the corporate side itself. So one good thing about this, whenever later, like for example, when government sectors or the Bursa Malaysia, for example, requires the ESG report, then now the company can directly generate the report from the AI monitoring dashboard. And this dashboard can be used as a supporting evidence for them for their ESG report as well. So the combination of this technology and the accounting system actually can support the sustainability goal in terms of the smart sustainability concept itself. So what are the real cases that the Malaysia companies are now actually moving forward to the smart management framework? So first of all, like Sunway, Sunway Group actually have started to implement the internal carbon pricing in their closed loop ecosystem. So they started by setting the price at around 15 ringgit per ton of the carbon dioxide that being produced in their manufacturing floor. So each of the business unit, whenever this is a mall, this is a hotel, or it's a construction arm, as long as it's an operation base, each carbon dioxide they have released in the Sunway Group, they will set a price of the RM 15 ringgit per ton. So from here, they will check whether they have actually achieved the emission threshold. And if they exceed, then there will be actually a fine that being put on their bonus pool, and this fine will be shifted into Central Green Fund, and the Central Green Fund itself is used for the sustainable investment when they invest in the solar panels that been built on their building, and also to upgrade the chillers. From here, it will actually reduce the use of the non-renewable energy, and it can be able to reduce the ton of the carbon dioxide that being emit in the process. Yeah, so in the end, it will reduce the emission and cost, and will go back to the monitoring itself. So from here, it forms a closed loop ecosystem. And the second one is about Pantas, which is another group. So this is another group that directly cooperate with the Bank Negara Malaysia or the BNM to produce tools for the small and medium enterprise or SME. So from there, it actually into the tools that provided free for them. Whereas for the big corporates, on the other hand, the tools is not provided for free, of course, but it is also act as at least as a tools that available for them to control their sustainability or the renewable energy that happening in their own manufacturing floor. So from here, they introduce a concept they call as the greening value change program. So they use AI again, and also the optical character recognition or the OCR to scan their fuel invoice. And from here, they can actually get to the data on the smart management itself that related to the sustainability. So how about the Malaysia government effort to support this? So in terms of the government support, the Malaysia government actually have introduced a green investment tax allowance or the GITA for the small and medium enterprise or the SME to transit from a conventional manufacturing to a greener technology manufacturing or the greener technology system. So they are actually sponsoring 100% investment allowance against the statutory income. They offset the statutory income when they invest in the smart monitoring system and also the energy efficient machinery. So both of these enable them to qualify for the green asset. Yeah, apart from that, also there's a 2 billion ringgit that being stuck in the Bank Negara's low carbon transition facility or LCTF that provide a low cost or the low financing rate borrowing for the SME to transit from the conventional corporation or the conventional system to the greener system following the sustainability goals set by the government. So this is a steps provided by the Malaysian government to leverage them and to help them to reduce the cost when they want to transit from a normal or the usual manufacturing to a smarter or the greener manufacturing itself. Okay, so this is in terms of the corporate and how government contribute to them. So now I would like to share another thought. So this thought is talking about how Malaysia government can work together with the individuals or the consumers, not from the corporate only. Okay, so in terms of the personal thought, okay, we have a UTC, which is we call an Urban Transformation Center that we set in Malaysia. In this Urban Transformation Center in Malaysia is actually a one-stop station that our people, which residents can go there to settle their passport, their license, or their taxes. So apart from this UTC, yeah, so we have also introduced a new app for the moment that is the MyGov app based on the PADU database that being set by Malaysia in the last year, and this MyGov apps is started a few weeks ago. Yeah, so the login of this MyGov is actually using my digital ID, which is a ID that the apps and also being introduced already by Malaysian government in the few months ago. So I actually have a TOF. So this TOF is actually we can transform a physical UTC into a digital UTC, in which this digital UTC actually help for sustainability. So you can imagine that there's an integrated environment in which we can have AI being integrated into an interface. There is a chat-based ecosystem that is, instead of hiring expensive consultant, so the residents or the SME owner can actually directly go to the app and they can ask, I have 500 kg for plastic waste, for example. So how can I actually recycle this to claim the tax rebate? So this AI that act as a data hub not only give advice to them, but also propose some action they can do so that it able to reduce the environmental cost in their company. And for the individual itself, right? So we can actually record or have a proper record from the UTC or the digital UTC to show it in a dashboard. There is a green dashboard in a app, and this can be looked into it, and from the verification of the identity, it will also verify the contribution of us into the sustainability. So this will ultimately make the smart management that is a green economy can be accessible not only to a corporate, not only to a company, but also to an individual or the consumers level. So in summary, there's a two part. Okay, basically in terms of company actions, the sustainability can be internalized within the company itself using the smart management framework. So this part is talking about PDCA in terms of the smart management itself to integrate natural capital into the system, and from there, it have the involvement of the AI technology and also the accounting in terms of the management. And this has been actually started by the Sunway and also the Pantas in the corporate itself. But of course, we hope to see this including in the more and more manufacturing. Yeah, and then including in my company, that is the Vitrox, right? We are actually also focused on the ESG, in which we score about 4.5 or 4.6 out of 5 from the Russia ESG rating last quarter. Yeah. So for the smart manufacturing itself, the smart management framework itself, this is still in the process of the idea generation. Yes, and then apart from that, in terms of the government policy, apart from these to boost the transition of the manufacturing level from the conventional economy into the greener economy, they can actually set a financial incentive like GITA or LCTF, not only to help them in terms of the deduction, in terms of tax deduction, but also to give them a low net financing cost for the borrowing. And this also can help the SME to transit from the conventional manufacturing into a greener manufacturing. And then for the resident itself, it can combine into a digital UTC that is achievable by all the residents. And from government, corporate, and individual, the combination of all of these will, I believe, will be able to achieve a greener economy in the Malaysia perspective. Yeah. So that's also, thank you. That's all about my keynote speaker sharing. And thank you for listening to all of this. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask in the chat box. And yeah, this is my email. If there's any collaboration needed, then feel free for the collaboration as well. So now I would like to pass back this session to our moderator. Thank you.
Mr. Teo, thank you very much for a very interesting presentation on the sustainability initiatives in Malaysia. If there are any questions, please have them ready for the Q&A session after all the presenters, after all our keynote speakers have finished. Thank you once again, Mr. Kuhn. Thank you. Now, please join me in welcoming our next keynote speaker. I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Munaza Zahra, Women University of Azad, Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan. Dr. Munaza Zahra is an accomplished academic and researcher who's currently serving as an assistant professor in the Department of Economics and Management Sciences at the Women University of Azad, Jammu and Kashmir, Bagh, Pakistan. She earned a PhD in Human Resources Management from University Sains, Malaysia in 2021, and has an extensive background in teaching subjects such as business communication, strategic management, supply chain management, career development and management, and international business. Dr. Zahra is a prolific researcher with numerous publications in national and international journals. She has presented her work at various international conferences, earning accolades for Best Paper and Best Presenter. A lifetime member of the AIBPM Malaysian chapter, she also has been a keynote speaker at prestigious international events. Her contributions to academia and research reflect her dedication to fostering knowledge, innovation, and global academic engagement. Welcome, Dr. Munaza. The time is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, moderator Sandeep, for a warm welcome. Let me share my slide. So, I think I have to... Okay. Good morning from my side because it's early. It's almost 8 a.m. in Pakistan right now. But thank you for inviting me as a keynote speaker to the 5th WIMAYA International Conference. It's an honor and privilege. The topic has some very interesting ideas. It's from green economy to smart management and then integrating AI and technology and accounting for sustainable growth. So moving forward, because this presentation is still in progress, I can't move my slides. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, but my slides are stuck.
Can you stop sharing and reshare again? Sometimes that works.
Maybe. Can you do it in this way?
Yes, we can see your slides. Yes.
Okay. So the agenda for today is we will talk about what this concept is about, the main theme of the international conference, then the key highlights. Also, we have invested some time in our case studies. This is actually from tourism department, and one of my colleagues is also working on these studies. So we have also collected some comparative studies from global, including Thailand and Iceland and then New Zealand. And we will talk about some risks and solution, and also future trend and recommendation, also with some practical suggestions. So about green economy, we have talked about it for the last 5 years, maybe, advancing low carbon, circular and responsible models of development, and also promoting environmental balance and sustainable resource management. For smart management integration, it's always about artificial intelligence and digital tools and data-driven decision making, also enabling smarter organizations, resilient system, and innovative leadership. In third, the concept of this international conference is about technology and accounting for sustainability. Not only just about sustainability, but now accounting also matters. So transforming accounting practices with ESG, as our prestigious colleague has just talked about, economical, social, and governance, reporting, also carbon accounting and financial transparency. So the bridging digital transformation with sustainable governments. For key highlights, we have some case studies from Pakistan. The main three case studies are from Hunza, which is one of the best tourism destination of Pakistan. Then we have some Instagram and influencer-driven domestic tourism. Also, tourism disruptions by climate hazards. Then for global case studies, we have case studies from Thailand, which is Maya Bay, which was closed in 2018 due to over-tourism. And then we have Iceland digital tourism campaigns, and then New Zealand, Taki Promise and regenerative tourism. For key challenges, we have always talked about in tourism that yes, tourism is good, but over-tourism is bad. So declining trust in influencer, climate vulnerability, and dependence on social media hype. For recommendation and future trends, we will talk about AI-powered personalization, regenerative community-led tourism, stricter influencer regulations, climate resilient tourism planning, and authentic experiential and micro travel demands. Or Hunza and Gilgit. Have you ever been to Gilgit-Baltistan? It is one of the best tourism spot for tourists all around the world. So for local communities, it has been one of the best places which have been developed by their local communities due to handicrafts and research, and they have engines their rural development with some of the best practices like homestays and guiding. So increased tourism has improved income and infrastructure and women participation in small enterprises. If you have been to Hunza, you will see women driving everything. Even women are in construction businesses. So they are, because they have been very organized community. That's why the tourism has improved income, infrastructure, and women participation in small enterprises. Also, it has rapid growth now strains has vast waste management, water availability, and fragile mountain ecosystems. If you have ever seen those mountain ranges like Himalaya, Karakoram, these ranges have very mass mountains, like you have ever heard about K2. So these changes have very fragile mountain ecosystems, and over tourism has damaged these systems also. Then the second case study was about Instagram and influencer-driven domestic tourism. Pakistani travelers now discover destination primarily through Instagram handles and TikTok accounts. So there are some micro and mid-level influencers. We call micro-level influencers who have a fan following of about 10K to 100K, and then mid-level is above 100K. So they have affect perceptions of safety, beauty, and accessibility because they normally used to float their content with heavy, overly edited, and commercially sponsored posts and create unrealistic expectations and mislead visitors. The third case studies that we selected is tourism disruption by climate hazards. For the last few years, we have seen floods, glacier lake outburst floods, and landslides and heat waves and affecting our northern tourism hub, which consists of Sawat, Kalam, Naran, and then some part of GB like Skardu, Gilgit, and Hunza. So seasons are becoming unpredictable, and some popular sites face safety risks. Like a few years back in Murray, there was an incident in which hundreds of people were stuck in snowfall just to see what is happening in Murray. Then in case studies that we selected from Google, which are also based on tourism, is Maya Bay, Thailand, which was one of the beautiful bay in Thailand. Authorities closed it indefinitely 2018 to allow ecological recovery, implemented visitor limits and restoration work, then cautiously reopened with strict controls. This highlights how short-term popularity driven by media and influencer can destroy the asset that created the popularity and how policy-led closures and rehabilitations can be needed. Then the second case study is about Inspired by Iceland. Inspired by Iceland is an example of creative and digitally driven destination marketing that scaled reach while also building a content hub for ongoing engagement. It shows how smart of use of digital content and partnership can convert global attention into sustainable visits and sustainable tourism. Then the third case study is about New Zealand. It was about Taki Promise. This was about 100% pure New Zealand. A government and industry attempt to embed stewardship into traveler behavior. More recent academic work pushes from sustainability to regenerative tourism, focusing on restoring systems rather than only minimizing harm. When we talk about risks and solutions, there are three main categories. The first one that we already talked about, that it's over tourism. There are few studies that we collected, and there was some research data that was gathered from different journals and also from different publications that were collected in 2024 and 2022 and 2025. In 2024, GB saw, which is Gilgit-Baltistan, it saw 986,000 domestic tourists and 16,000 foreign tourists. And this was taken from Hunza Post, which also gives some tourism information. In another study which was collected in 2019, the respondents said that 39% of local Hunza reported high generation of solid waste and 21% reported water pollution. Directly, it has been taken from journals from Paradigms. And also it has mentioned that microbial waste tests detected Salmonella typhi, E. coli, and Enterobacter in tourism area water resources. It has also been taken from Paradigm Journal. In one of the study, it mentioned that 87% of villagers and 98% of business owners said tourism provides seasonal employment, guiding hospitality, handicrafts. And in 2025, tourism dropped 90% in GB due to climate disasters and conflicts. Only 270 foreign climbers compared to 2,000 previously. And then glacier risk. GB has over 7,000 glaciers, and some glacier lakes are at risk of outburst floods. It has been also mentioned in Pakistan Today, one of the leading newspapers of Pakistan. And this study was also published in Paradigm. Then for over-tourism and climate risk in GB, which is Gilgit-Baltistan, according to an opinion piece in 2022, 2 million tourists visited GB, surpassing the region's population of 1.7 million. The over-tourism has become this much that they have surpassed the regional population of people. There are 3,044 glacial lakes recorded in Gilgit-Baltistan and KP province, which is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and 33 identified as high risks of burst floods. Then there is a study which mentioned daily tourist traffic contributes to pollution. Weak waste systems and poor water infrastructure aggravate water scarcity and environmental degradation in Pakistan. For about misleading trust and misleading influencers. Influencer move people, but the trust signal is fragile. Disclosures and authenticity. There are concerns about inaccurate expectations and safety perceptions. Also, if we talk about solution, require transparent disclosure, prefer long-term ambassador relationships over one-off paid posts, and verify influencer provenance. It is a dire need to check and balance what they are portraying and what the content they are sharing on their social media handles. Also, the third risks is climate risk to tourism supply that we already have mentioned that there are 36 lakes considered high risks. And there are some glacier outbursts or floods. Have you ever introduced avalanche? Have you ever seen about it? Then there are so many cases of avalanche in GB for the past 2 or 3 years. Solution is train tour guides to communicate ecological risks, build more formal waste disposal and recycling facilities. Now, the future depends on three different pillars. The first one is responsibility. When you are growing and you have a tourism spot, then it must be ethical resource use. You have to know that what are ethical practices, and if we are traveling somewhere and we are visiting some place which has some attraction and tourists used to enjoy their spots, then there are some community center developments also. Transparency in reporting is also needed. In technological part, AI is needed. You have to make some applications about the entrance and exit of the tourists, also how much they stayed, how much they have thrown the garbage or litter. Then IoT, Internet of Things, and digital twins also can help in technological advancements. Smart accounting systems are also needed, and data-driven governance is also needed. For sustainability point of view, green energies are now the call of the day also. Climate resilience is needed. Long-term environmental protection programs and policies are needed. So these three pillars, responsibility, technology, and sustainability together create growth that is both competitive and future-proof. For future trends, we have identified 5 basic trends. AI power personalizations. You must know that you have some applications that can plan the travel of the tourists. Also, personalized itineraries are required. Dynamic pricing is required, and hyper-targeted content is also need to be identified and then justified. AI-generated videos and influencers like avatars will rise in future. Also, regenerative and community-led tourism. Moving beyond sustainability toward restoration and community benefit sharing. I have already talked about Hunza, which have very strong community development. The people from Hunza used to guide tourists, and then they also used to train them about ecological perspectives and risks concerned in economy. For the third trend, it was stricter influencer regulations. Those who used to share content from their social media handles should we should follow the transparency rules, disclosure requirements, and authenticity checks becoming mandatory worldwide. climate resilient tourism planning, early warning systems, insurance, infrastructure upgradations, and diversification of tourism seasons is also required. For the fifth trend, it should be authentic, experiential, and micro travel demand. Slow travel, cultural immersion, and micro influencer gaining trust over celebrities. So we have to look on the content and we have to be very vigilant about whom to share and whom to follow. So countries who invest in both climate resilient and innovation are the ones experiencing stable and long-term economic growth. Those who ignore either side risk falling behind. So AI is not an option, it's a necessity these days. You have to be smart in management different tourism spots. So there are some practical suggestions that we have identified from these three case studies from Pakistan and then three case studies from globally that we collected. Waste management infrastructure, implement leave no trace policies for tourists, especially for non-biodegradable source. Also encourage community-based led cleanup campaigns, involve local youth and tourism businesses. There are some initiatives that have taken been tourism department also from the government of Hunza and Gilgit-Baltistan, but still more such campaigns and community-led programs are needed. Then environmental education for tourists and locals. Look, signage. Signage are public signals that you have to place every spot and every place where you see that there are tourists, those are entering on that spots. Then there are visitor centers and mobile apps to teach about fragile ecosystems. Like there are glacier zones and then there are floody zones. Offer sustainable tourism certifications to those guest houses or hotels that follow green practices. And there are some initiatives that have already been taken to give them sustainable tourism certifications to different hotels and different guest houses in Gilgit-Baltistan. Then regulate tourist flow. Introduce limits in sensitive areas. You have to be very cautious about over tourism. Seasons to reduce peak tourism, tourist pressure. You have to create such content that can highlight the beauty of that tourist spot in every season, not only just in peak season. Use a permit system for certain high-risk zones such as remote valleys and glacier lakes. And then you have to encourage off-peak tourism to spread the load. This is also very necessary step to reduce the over-tourism. Also, strengthen local capacity and governance. Empower local government and community groups to manage tourism sustainability. Also, collaboration between tourism department, local communities, and NGOs to set the rules. Invest in local infrastructure like the roads, in energy and water that is climate resilient. We have seen some such resources and infrastructure in Hunza, also in Skardu, that they use some mini projects to generate their own energy. Then climate risk mitigation, promote alternative livelihoods in non-tourism seasons. For example, sustainable agriculture crafts, encourage use of clean energy, solar, micro, hydro. Solar energy has been drastically improved in Pakistan these days. Almost 70% of the large cities are using solar systems to generate energy. In hotels and tourist accommodations, also health and safety measures. Regular monitoring of water quality in tourist spots, publicize water safety guidelines, and improve sanitation facilities in remote areas. There are some eco toilets also, but some more are still needed in some of the parts of the country. There are some facts and figures that we collected from Maya Bay, Thailand. The bay was once seeing as many as 5,000 visitors per day and 200 boats. It has been published in one of the leading journal. At the time of its closure in 2018, it is estimated that 80% of coral was destroyed. When reopened after restoration, the visitor number was cut to around 375 people per hour across time slots, and then swimming in the bay is now banned. Also, boats must dock at nearby rather than anchor on reefs. So there are some practical suggestions that they have implemented, and we can also, the case studies that we collected from Pakistan, they can also implement such cut-offs and tourist restrictions. Then there are the case study that was taken from Iceland. Iceland digital campaigns, like Inspired by Iceland, they have a digital campaign known as Inspired by Iceland, significantly increased global tourism via creative, socially shared content. Although exact number stats vary, the campaign is widely credited for boosting tourism engagement. Tourism in Iceland has in past years contributed heavily to GDP, and digital content played a major role in scaling both reach and volume of arrivals. Then the third case study, the Tyaki promise that we already discussed, encourages travelers to take care of the land, people, and place, which Tyaki means to care for. New Zealand has explicitly moved from sustainable tourism to regenerative tourism, meaning it's not just minimizing harm, but restoring and giving back to nature and communities. This trend is validated in academic and policy documents too. So we can also take them as our example, and we can also implement such necessary steps in such a situation where we are facing these days in Hunza and then the influencers also. So I will end up my presentation with a quotation by Dr. McGregor. If you really think the economy is more important than the environment, then try holding your breath whilst you count your money. That's the call of the day. That's all from my side. My email ID has been mentioned. If you have any queries, because this research is still under process, so we can share more information in near future. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will hand over the stage to the moderator.
Thank you, Dr. Maraza, and thank you for ending on that very provocative quote, which is so true in so many of our cities today around the world. And thanks for those really insightful case studies on tourism and the impact of social media and digital. Thank you. To all our keynote speakers, we've got quite a few questions coming in, so I hope you can stay till the end for the Q&A session. Thank you. With that, if I can move on and introduce our next speaker, I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Therindu Amasekre. He is a senior lecturer at the Postgraduate Institute of Management, SJP, specializing in finance, marketing, communication skills, sustainability, and digital disruption. Mr. Therindu has also been coaching students for the CIMA professional qualification for over 15 years. He's also founder of the award-winning digital agency TAC and a national public speaking champion in Toastmasters, being the first Toastmaster in Sri Lanka to be ranked #1 in 3 competition categories. In 2015, he won the District 82 Table Topics Championship, and in 2023, the Double Championships in Humorous Speaking and International Speech Contest. He has also hosted the weekend business talk show, Biznomics on TV1, and his publications in academia have been recognized in the AIB South Asian Conference 2022, hosted by the Indian Institute of Management. Also, the Global Winter Business Conference in France and the World Education Summit in Malaysia. Mr. Therindu has obtained his first degree in computer science with honors from the University of Staffordshire and his MBA in marketing from the University of Colombo and his master's in project management from the University of Southern Queensland in Australia. He has also completed the CIMA Management Accounting qualification as well as the PQHRM qualification from CIPM, and is also a certified NLP coach from the American Board of NLP. I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Therindu. Over to you, sir.
Pleasure, Dr. Sandeep. Thank you so much. Absolute pleasure to be joining this conference. The WIMAYA conference is always takes a very special place in my heart. I've been a part of it for the past so many years consecutively. A big thank you to the organizers. I keep getting invited. I believe I must be doing something right every year. So absolute pleasure to be here. I was to co-present this together with my director, Dr. Asanga Ranasinghe, but as you all may know, Sri Lanka is facing a massive cyclone right now in all parts of the country. There's multiple relief efforts being spearheaded by different parties, and being in the government sector, our campus also gets involved in some of these. There are multiple administrative issues to be looked at. So unfortunately, my director, Dr. Sangarana Singh, is not with us here today to present, but I have a message from him, which I will first read, after which I will straight away dive into my presentation. I quote with this message: I send my sincere regards and all the very best of wishes to the fifth WIMAYA International Conference 2025, dedicated towards smart management, better technology, and accounting for sustainable growth. My colleague, Mr. Tarandu Amarasekara, and I, we have chosen the theme, the topic of this new paradigm shift of marketing, which is quantum marketing, an area which a lot of organizations are adopting and requires the attention of the academic community more so ever than before now. Quantum marketing is a concept which needs to be embraced, and by selecting this theme for the keynote together with Tarindu, I have decided that this will add more value to the conference, to the knowledge that is being created here, and will hopefully set ablaze a new path, a new trail in which there will be more academia, members of the academia selecting this for further research, because this is the future of marketing for the foreseeable future. I hope the presentation that Tarindu and I have put together, which will be presented by Mr. Tarindu Amarasekara today, as I am unable to attend due to attending to multiple national duties, will be insightful and create curiosity to further the research in this domain in your chosen empirical different areas. Wishing you all the very best for the conference. Dr. Sangarana Singhe, unquote. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will dive into my presentation together with my director. We have done a basic study on this, put together this presentation for this keynote, and I will now present it. May I share my screen?
Please, sir. We can see your slides.
Lovely. So I won't ask the question whether you have heard of the term marketing, because being in academia, being practitioners, we all have heard this term. Even in academics, when we do a conference, for example, this event required marketing, and I've seen over the years the amount of international level world-class efforts that have gone in for towards marketing this great conference. But the new paradigm shift, and in academia, we are always about the next big thing. It's our duty as members of the global academic community to prepare the world for the next big thing. And when it comes to marketing, the shared passion that Dr. Asanga and I both have in common, marketing was my MBA domain, and currently for my doctorate that I'm reading for, and for which I'm publishing, once again, marketing and branding is my domain as well. Given all this, the new paradigm shift in marketing is what is being defined as quantum marketing. Let's try to understand this a little bit better. Let's try to understand this, what this is about, because whether we like it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this is the future, right? This is the future that that we are all looking for. Right? Now, what does this mean? What is the definition of quantum marketing? Let's try to get that first. So quantum marketing It's a term, and mind you, this is an area of marketing that is still pretty much being explored. But the idea is the application of quantum principles like superposition, entanglement, uncertainty towards marketing strategies and practices. Yes, it involves looking at data, AI, and other technologies, but also it requires us to unlearn, rethink almost everything we have learned about marketing so far. We thought that customers can be put into groups. That is being challenged by quantum marketing. We have learned and we have been taught that marketing involves understanding one stage of a customer. Now we are being told and we are exploring the fact that no, a customer will never remain in one stage at a given time. Why? Because they are always shifting between multiple different states. So quantum marketing can be seen as, in fact, the great unlearning and rethinking of marketing in today's context. In fact, if you take a basic atom, the nucleus structure, we've been always told that around this atom, you get these different electrons always jumping around. They're never in one place. That exactly defines today's customers. Right? Those days when customers would read papers, they read the papers only. Now, while looking at a paper, if they read the paper anymore actually, but while they look at the paper, they'll also get bombarded with a SMS. And they will also be given another notification by one of the many apps that they are having. A customer is no longer staying in one fixed position, but rather jumping all over at a given time. Just like particles of electrons around one given atom, how it doesn't stay in one position. This is what we call applying of quantum marketing and quantum principles into marketing. It's actually, one can even define it as a marketing mindset that requires marketers to keep adapting in real time and trying to understand right now what's going on in the customer and never thinking, okay, we figured out the customer, we have understood the customer, because the customer himself can't understand himself anymore because they are changing so much and they are changing so rapidly. So it's basically designing a marketing function for complexity, for better networks, for better identity, fluidity, accepting the fact that customers' own identity of him or herself will be changing all the time and being ready for connecting with these rapid behavioral shifts. If you take a look at from the fashion industry, a basic example, ladies and gentlemen, will be the fact that long time back, fashion was always there for 4 seasons. And we could say winter, summer, autumn, and spring. And you might remember fashion came in these seasons. Few years ago, actually a few decades ago, Zara, when the Zara brand launched, they said, no, this is not the case anymore. Customers don't really want to wait for 3 months for new fashion. In fact, customers would like a new fashion every weekend. So they started introducing 2 different style collections once a week, which meant 2 into 52. Zara started giving fashion in 104 weeks instead of the 104 seasons of fashion rather than just the 4 fashion seasons. This was, I mean, though there was a term of quantum marketing back then, identifies how customers are no longer willing to wait for just one season or one element or for one identified time period, but they're always changing into different positions. So the main features we see of quantum marketing, it's ambiguity friendly. You're ready to embrace the rapid changes, emotional and data driven connection, fast experiments. You can never really settle on one, and you have to like try fast, fail fast, learn fast, and supply the right product fast, right? Omni-touch storytelling. Your brand story has to be present across multiple channels, not just one. Right? So these are some of the features we see. In fact, as my mentor in marketing and my director, Dr. Asang, and I, we both identified this is easily the next big revolution of marketing. We have the production concept, where it was all about getting a product out efficiently. The product concept, meaning we saw how companies focused on giving the product they thought was right. Then came selling, somehow to sell. Then came marketing, as we know, the basic fundamental approach to understand, identify, satisfy customer needs and wants in a profitable manner, which later evolved into societal marketing, where you do all that in a socially responsible, environmentally responsible manner, and which built on the holistic marketing concept, where we said marketing has to go beyond the marketing function, marketing department, and whether you're in supply chain or HR or operations, you are into marketing. And today we have the new step of this evolution, which is quantum marketing, understanding how when the customer himself is not settled, marketing function cannot be settled into one state, one position, or one mindset, but it has to have that evolving, evolutionary look towards the towards marketing, right, towards the customer. If there are any questions, you are most welcome to raise them over the chat. I am having one eye on the chat as well. In fact, gone are the days, I believe even presenters can just present and wait for questions at the end. The audience will have questions as we present, so you are most welcome to raise it. I'll apply the quantum principle of jumping between my presentation and my and the Q&A, and I'll be happy to answer any questions, any queries that may come up in your mind as you listen to this presentation. Now, in other words, we call this the great shift of mindset. Take a look at this. We had the earlier marketing would involve a massive, like a very classical mindset, right? We call it the Newtonian marketing. Linear customer journey, you might remember, customer identifies the needs, will evaluate alternatives, will then make the decision, then the post-purchase. But today, you can do a post-purchase evaluation before you even buy. You take a platform like booking.com, you go there, before you book the hotel, you will see what comments other people are giving. So that gives you an insight towards the post-purchase journey, even before you have made the purchase, right? Those days we said we can fit the customer into a rigid persona, and we had a very simple linear approach: predict, plan, execute. People made decisions in silos, right? Like digital was separate, retail was separate, then also data-heavy forecasting. Today, in quantum marketing, we say, no, it's a different approach because it's not linear. Maybe customer has not even identified the need, but when the customer sees an advertisement or something, we will feel like buying. Maybe the customer is not yet haven't decided to buy, but already looking at what people who have already bought, what they're saying about it, right? And there is no longer this rigid person, or you can't say young males as one category. No, you'll have young males who are digital savvy, and in digital savvy also only those who are using TikTok. I mean, those days when you say young males, you can give a rigid persona and say 99% of young males will have this behavior. When multiple channels emerge, when multiple generations emerge, we are looking at a world where we are marketing to 5 different generations, starting from the classical generation to the baby boomers, to the millennials, to the Gen Z, the Gen Alpha, and now even the Gen Beta is born, right? And soon we'll be marketing to them, at least to their parents. What you need to understand is that we cannot any longer fit them into one particular profile, and that this is changing all the time. It's no longer also about a linear approach, because we have to test it, learn, we have to adapt, and then we have to scale. Right? In other words, we call this term perpetual beta. Today, you're always doing changes to your product and testing, because today your product might fit the customer's requirement, but given the nature of quantum marketing, that they don't stay fixed in one state, when they evolve, so should your product. Right? And interconnected touch points from the phone app to the store to the web experience comment section, all of this is getting interconnected. So to understand a few essential elements of this, number one, uncertainty. Marketers today, if you're practicing quantum marketing, you need to embrace uncertainty. That's a must, right? That's an absolute must. Number two, superposition in customer journey. We acknowledge and accept and understand the fact that customers at a given time will be in multiple states, like they might be browsing a product while also being ready to purchase. They are no longer going to browse, gather data and purchase. No. When they are browsing itself, they might be ready to purchase if they see the right offer. Right? So you need real-time adaptation by marketers. There is also the strong entanglement for connected experiences, which means that customer might see you in the store, then go online and check what you're doing and what you're offering, then make the next decision later or buy immediately. Sometimes, and today, not only on web and all, even on ChatGPT, the amount of people searching for product suggestions on ChatGPT is massive. So how can your brand appear on AI platforms like ChatGPT or Perplexity, on which a lot of the searching and a lot of the product researching takes place? And interestingly, the marketing has also been coined as by the MasterCard CMO Rajamana, who was one of the, and who still is one of the biggest advocates for quantum marketing, was the fact that he defined this as the fifth paradigm, which means after product, emotional, data-driven, and digital marketing, this is the next approach, a holistic mindset where the entire organization gets involved in marketing and sees marketing as a common role of the whole organization, while acknowledging how fickle the customer mindset and states are today, along with understanding that while we use digital, marketing also has to keep the brand as human as possible. I'll give an example. A big concern of modern day consumers has become the privacy, right? A big concern has become the privacy. Okay? Privacy meaning, as we know, is my data being used against my wish? Is my data being used against what I prefer? Or my data being used to target ads and all towards me? And what do I get in return? So when you use all these Chrome or Firefox, etc., data about us are being stored, and that data might be used to personalize some advertisements. But for giving our data, what do we get? Almost, I mean, it's not almost, it's absolutely nothing. But you take a browser like Brave. Today, Brave is saying, look, for having your data used, we are going to give you points, and you can use these points to make certain purchases. That's the reward you are getting for, right? That's the reward you're getting for for giving data to us, for sharing data with us. All right. Then, in other words, it's also about keeping marketing human, right? Despite all the technological sophistication, quantum marketing acknowledges the fact that marketing must remain human, right? It's important. So the idea is that we keep marketing in a human state, meaning we try to see, okay, how can our marketing efforts, whatever we are providing, the products and services, etc., how can it further provide solutions to some of the challenges, problems, and issues that customers are facing. Like, for example, is it possible to make some of the products that are offered match some of the states of the customers, which traditional marketing might ignore? We'll take an example, right? The credit cards we use, our bank cards that we use. Now, traditionally, all cards come alike in the same shape. Now, when we look at our purse, if we are blessed with proper eyesight, we know, okay, this is my credit card, this is my debit card, this is my driving license, and so on. But you take someone who is visually impaired, a very important customer segment today, especially in this era of inclusive marketing, that customer will understand things by touch. And it's almost impossible to touch and understand which card is what. So what did some companies like MasterCard do? They started offering some of these cards, like their credit cards, with a different shape. So that way, when a visually impaired person touches the card, from the shape of the edges, he or she will know whether this is actually the credit card or the debit card or a different card. It's a simple application, but it involves acknowledging the challenge that a fellow human being is facing and that the brand is actually doing something in return and at hardly a fraction of a extra cost or anything for the company or the customer. Given the scale of cards and all they would be supporting, it's no major impact as well on their as a percentage of the total amount spent on cards. So what you need to understand is that this is what quantum marketing is about. We are not only, while we embrace technology, we are also making marketing more human, which is indeed the need of the hour, the need of the times, as identified by parties, right? Finally, before I move into the Q&A, I would like to, as I move into my last element, we also say this is about the age of hyper-personalization. Age of hyper-personalization, meaning companies use hyper-personalization to acknowledge the fact that if you have 1 million customers today, that means you have 1 million market segments. Each and every customer is a unique, separate customer segment by itself. If you look at some of the, one of the most famous books authored once was called Elephants Can Dance, about how large companies like IBM went through major, massive changes. Similarly, in this age of hyper-personalization, ladies and gentlemen, we see some of the largest players of the global digital economy: Amazon, Netflix, Spotify, and Starbucks, of course, not necessarily digital economy, but the general economy. Sephora, once again, one of the largest beauty care operators in the world. They are having an attitude of hyper-personalization. Today, Spotify, for its millions of users, will customize the playlists. They will adjust the playlist and all that to match their needs. Netflix matches the content to match your need. They would know what kind of a content you're in the mood for in the weekend, what kind of a content you're in the mood for at a given time. Amazon, one of the largest business in the world, in fact, the biggest company in the world at one time, and even today in terms of operations, one of the largest, they customize the suggestions, the products being offered to different individuals depending on their requirement, depending on their situation. So if these large companies can adopt it, all the other organizations also need to adopt it. Even in academia, we might have large intakes of students, but are we customizing it? Are we accepting it? Are we acknowledging it? The fact that these different students who join, they all have different paths, they have different journeys to fulfill. How can our academic experience we provide for them match that? And at PIM, we've started to look at multiple programs where we can customize the learning experience to match the end goal of each student rather than putting them into groups based on seniority or job function or anything like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the case is quite clear with it that we live in an era of hyper-personalization. Marketing has to start looking at each customer as a separate segment because we absolutely have understood the fact that we can't fit them into rigid personas, right? We can't fit them into rigid personas anymore. And customers themselves are not staying in one state, one position for a longer time period, which simply means that we need to start accepting the need for us to be agile, the need for us to change from time to time. When the customers are always agitated and shifting into multiple states, our marketing also has to adapt in real time to match for this requirement that they would be having. And we hope, my director, Dr. Asanga, and I, we hope that this keynote we presented today will encourage you to further take up research on this area, especially if there are any students here who are majoring in marketing, who are keen on marketing. Ladies and gentlemen and young scholars, this is the next step of marketing, the next phase of marketing, and we are still at the very early dawn of it. As it continues to become mainstream, if you get started in research in this area right now, I believe you'll be able to set ablaze a new trail of marketing that will develop more insights that will help companies to become better with their customers, and as academia of marketing and branding, help you to stay more relevant as well. So thank you very much for this opportunity, for listening to us. And on behalf of PIA Business School and on behalf of Dr. Sangarana Singha and Thandu Amarasekara, it was an absolute pleasure to have the opportunity to present this to you. I will also share my email address via the chat. If anyone is keen to connect for further research, for further collaboration, you are most welcome to reach out to me. Thank you so much, and wishing the rest of the conference all the very best. Over to you, moderators.
Mr. Tharinda, thank you very much for that Mr. Tharindu, thank you very much for that very interesting talk about the concept of quantum marketing and humanizing marketing, a human approach to marketing. And certainly we can see that it's already becoming mainstream. So thank you for that. Please do, we do have questions at the end. So
sure. I'll be around. I'll be around.
That'll be great. And also thank you. Please do thank from all of us, Dr. Sanga Ranasinghe. We understand he will be there, and we wish him well, and hope that he and his colleagues and family are safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
With that, we move on to our final keynote speaker for today, and I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Samriti Mahajan from the New Delhi Institute of Management in India. Dr. Mahajan is a senior academician and an industry professional with over 12 years of experience in teaching, research, and academic leadership. She is currently serving as Senior Associate Professor and Head of the School of Commerce and Management at Lingaya's Vidyapith, India, while also holding roles such as the Dean of Student Welfare and President for Management and International Relations. She holds a postdoctoral fellowship from Amity Dubai University, a PhD in management, and an MBA in marketing and biotechnology with expertise in digital marketing, strategic marketing, consumer behavior, brand management, and international business. She has authored books, published extensively in Scopus, ABDC, Thomson Reuters, and UGC CARE Index journals, and she holds 5 design patents and 20 utility patents, earning recognition through multiple awards and continued involvement in national research projects and international speaking engagements. Welcome, Dr. Samriti. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much for such a nice introduction and early in the morning here. So I would just start without wasting time. So good morning, everyone, respected all the professors, distinguished delegates, and fellow researchers. It is a privilege to present my work today at the 2025 WIMAYA International Conference, which is hosted by UPN Veteran Yogyakarta in collaboration with AIBPM. So the theme when I talk about, so it is presenting today about sustainability in the age of AI. Everyone is well aware of that, what is AI, how it is taking the life of everyone. On a daily scenario, we see people glued to their phones, students glued to their phone, and every answer is being given by them. So it captures one of the most critical conversations of our time. We are standing at a moment where artificial intelligence is not just shaping the industries, but it is reshaping the very foundations of how we live, work, produce, and sustain our planet. So, if we talk about the AI today offers the unprecedented opportunities, do we have my slide with you guys? So, if you can just share that. Dr. Sandeep, if you have my slide, so if you can just share the same.
Let me just check. One moment, please.
Sure.
Dr. Sandeep and Dr. Sambiti, I will help to show your slide.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you. That will work for the audience. So if we talk about, Alicia, please come to the next slide. Yeah, thank you. So when we talk about the AI and sustainability intersection, so how both AI, artificial intelligence, and sustainability is intersecting both the things. So AI today offers the unprecedented opportunities. What would be the different opportunities which would be coming? So that is the optimizing energy grids, predicting the climate personas or the patterns we can say. There are some supporting clean energy transitions, and it also enables the precision agriculture that is going to conserve the resources. But also with these opportunities come some serious concerns as AI is rising the carbon footprint. We talk about the digital carbon footprint these days. So everywhere we find that there would be high energy demands, there would be e-waste, and the need for responsible development. So the question is, can AI become a force for environmental restoration rather than depletion? So this presentation answers yes, but only if we rethink the whole system. We need to start from scratch by thinking on different parameters, what parameters can align on these things. There are opportunities and there are some challenges which we face when there is an intersection between the AI and sustainability. Please move to the next slide. Yes. So the second, when we talk about the economy, so regenerative economies are there, right? So I propose moving from traditional sustainability to the regenerative economies, a model where we don't just reduce harm, but actively restore the ecosystem. And how? So regenerative system emphasizes on three different parameters. First is the circularity. So how the circulatory system works. So it is always designed in a closed loop. So we need to eliminate the waste through closed loop models. Second is the holistic values. So by measuring the success beyond profit, so that is really going to work on our different model. And the third is about the adaptive resilience by designing the system that evolve and strengthen the ecosystem. So AI can become a catalyst when it is merged with the regenerative thinking. Please, next slide. Yeah, thank you. And when we talk about that regenerative economy, so how AI is going to transform the industries. So across industries, there has been a study that we already has witnessed this transformation. For example, smart energy management, which is already cutting the waste by up to 30%. Precision agriculture, by using the different algorithm to monitor soil, it reduce water use and even improves the yields more. So that would be the precision agriculture. Third, we come to the climate modeling. By using the advanced AI systems, we have seen the vast data sets that are being used. Even in India, we had just a drill done where we were doing the seeding into
the clouds to get the artificial rain. So we need to check the moisture well in form, right? So after that seeing only we got to know that how the artificial rain can happen, how the is going to get fertilized properly, how we can get the better quality results for that. Coming to the next parameter, so that is the circular economy. So how the circular economy platforms help or track materials and create the closed loop manufacturing. To that only we'll get to know many bigger brands, they have already started to circular the economy in a rational way so that it could be a game changer in the system. So these examples only demonstrate that AI is just not a tool, it is a systematic game changer which is being adopted by the young generation and the older ones to get the things or to get the result oriented precision. Coming to our next slide. So where we would be talking about the carbon cost of AI. So when we talk about AI sustainability, automatically we are going to even calculate the cost itself, right? That what different carbon costs of AI is being there. So according to a survey in recent studies, it has been seen that training just one large AI model can emit over 6 lakh tons of CO2, and the data centers may consume 20% of global electricity, that too by 2030. So we must also confront to the reality that what reality is going to come. So even this makes the sustainability not optional, but this is going to be a very urgent requirement. We need to check the cost cutting. We need to check what different carbon footprints they are going to align. And even if there are so much of the tons of CO2 emission outside the system, so how we are going to mitigate those? So there should be some mitigation parameters also by these all projections. These projections only will not help us to get a better or healthy life. It will create our economy, our environment more sustainable. When we talk about the sustainability, it's that not only about reading the theories, but we really need to work upon those parameters. Coming to our next slide, how we are going to make AI sustainable? That is a bigger question. So, to build the green AI, we must focus on five different characteristics of that. First is green infrastructure. Efficient algorithms needs to be studied, specialized energy efficient hardware, carbon accounting system for and the federated learning. So how these work? So green infrastructure. So how the green infrastructure will work? So for that we need some powered, but it needs to be powered by some renewables. Efficient algorithms like pruning or quantization, like the previous speaker was talking about the quantum theories, right? So we need to prune and quantize into a perfect manner so that it could generate or it could be a sustainable one. Third, we talk about the specialized energy efficient hardware. So we really require that the hardware whichever we are using, so they should be energy efficient. Fourth was carbon accounting systems for AI life cycle. Life cycle need to be monitored properly. It should complete the whole circle. Only then it would be accounted into our system. And the fifth we talked about or discussed about that was the federated learning. So federated learning, why that is required? So that to reduce the data movement, there should be less movement of the data into the system. So these are not the futuristic ideas we should say, but they are actionable strategies an organization can adopt now itself. Coming to our next slide. So, I propose a regenerative AI economics framework that is going to integrate different skills. First would be the assessing environmental impact, that how we are going to assess the environmental impact that needs to be studied. Second would be the designing solutions responsibly. One need to take a lead, one need to see the whole parameters, whole graph, that how the solution is going to driven and who would be the responsible people to calculate the same. Third would be the deploying with green principles. What are the different green principles? When we talk about, are we really following those principles? Are we meeting those gaps? That needs to be seen and checked properly. Fourth is monitoring the performances and scaling in such a way that restores our ecosystem in real life. So this only going to ensure that innovation and natures grow together. if we talk about that one parameter of AI is growing and the nature is not growing, so that will not really help. So that comes to the smart management system, that how we are managing both the parameters on equal balance system. So there has been a case study which I was just going through, and we were discussing on the same, that there are many companies who have already proven this shift. Coming to our next slide. Yes. So there are global leaders already who are proving that this shift is possible. For example, there are big companies we discuss about Google, IBM, and the Microsoft AI. So how the different AI Earth programs they have monitored and calculated. If we talk about the Google carbon footprint, so how the Google has really taken a place into that. So Google already uses the carbon intelligent computing to reduce the emissions by 40%. If we talk about our second company, that is IBM's Green Horizons, so it is improving the air quality through AI-driven modeling. And the third case study was about the Microsoft AI for Earth, which is supporting 600 plus sustainability projects worldwide. So these are few examples which has reinforced that with intention, and AI can serve the planet not by damaging it. So coming to next slide. So as I conclude, so I just want to emphasize one message, that the question is not whether we can afford to make AI sustainable. The real question is whether we can afford not to be, by not taking any action into that. So AI has an extraordinary potential to accelerate our transitions into a regenerative, equitable, and climate secure future. But this can happen only when researchers, policymakers, technologists, and the institutions can collaborate together towards the same vision. The vision should be aligned together. So that has been the whole scenario. So I extend my gratitude to the AIBPM conference team and the UPN veteran Yogyakarta, and for giving us this platform to discuss the ideas that is really going to shape the global futures. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions and insights on the same. That's all from my end. Am I audible?
Yes, Dr. Sampriti, but
Yeah.
it's the moment where Mr. Sandip, I guess, will take over. But yeah, I think Mr. Sandip have a kind of a issue network, so we are still waiting for him for this
Okay,
one.
no
Thank you,
issues.
Dr. Sampriti.
Yeah. So for the time being, I have one question, that how here in Indonesia we have thousands of SMEs run our economy. Can SME make optimal use of AI? Because sometimes its use required high cost. So thank you so much for the question. So yes, the SMEs can make optimal use of AI even with limited budgets. So, and in fact, AI today is more accessible and affordable than ever before. So I'll just highlight you with some four key reasons. First is the low cost and no cost AI tools already exist. For example, today SMEs do not need expensive infrastructure or data centers. Affordable cloud-based AI tools are available for inventory forecasting, customer insights, digital marketing, bookkeeping and invoicing, and the chatbot for customer services. Most of these tools cost from rupees 0 to $20 per month or their Indonesian equivalent. Even WhatsApp-based AI tools are now supporting the local business. So the barrier to entry is much lower than before. Second thing is SMS can benefit the most from AI efficiencies. How a small business may not have a big team, big budget, or excess manpower, that makes AI more valuable for them because AI reduces the manual work, automates the marketing, streamlines stock management, improves pricing, and boosts the customer engagement. A 2024 Asian survey has already shown that SMEs using simple AI tools increase the productivity by 15 to 25%. So AI, we should not think that it is a luxury, but it is a productive multiplier. And the third point I would like to add on in this, that is the government and the ecosystem support. So countries including Indonesia are launching major initiatives to support SMEs with AI. Like we can talk about the AI-based digital training for MSMEs, subsidized digital programs, partnership with tech companies are already there in Indonesia, and the cloud credits and digital coaching. So this ecosystem is already reducing some cost barriers significantly. And the fourth part, just to answer you, Ashri, that is the start small, scale fast. So SMEs do not need to adopt big AI from day to day. They can start with a chatbot for customer queries, AI supported marketing campaigns, and even we can just go through the AI generated product photos and the predictive scale sales tools. So, and then grow step by step. Just need not to rush in a hurry, but we need step by step to be taken. So AI adoption can be incremental and budget friendly, yet still it is going to highly impactful. So that is my answer to you.
Thank you, Dr. Mahajan. Sorry, I had a bit of a
No
connectivity
issues,
issue.
no issues.
Thank you for that very informative presentation. That was, we have quite a few questions actually. So, if
We are sorry, maybe we can wait for a little while. I think Mr. Sandip have a network issue again. We
Okay,
can
okay.
wait for more little longer. Thank
I
you.
can take
Yeah,
few more questions if anyone have.
yep, yeah, you can. Maybe if there is any question.
are you able to hear me?
Yes, Mr. Sandip, yeah, your voice is clear.
Sorry, I
You
think
can,
that
yeah,
question
you can.
trailed off. I think the question was around the concept of regenerative economics and how that encourages revitalization. So the question is, how can businesses practically begin shifting from traditional sustainability to a regenerative economic model while still maintaining profitability? So how do you balance that transition? Because in some of your slides, you talked about the savings, but I guess this questions the lag in investment versus benefits, and how do you kind of address those from a business perspective?
Dr. Sandeep, already for that I have answered. I have given 4 different parameters to set up that how the AI tools can be more accessible and affordable, and already few countries are even utilizing. So that has been answered. If there are more questions, so I would love to answer the same.
Dr. Mahajan, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I guess one of the questions is regarding the various issues with regard to sustainability.
Your voice, if you can just mention in chat box.
Would you?
I'm not able to hear you, but yes, I can read the question. So you shared that several real-world case studies such as Google's Carbon Intelligent Computing and IBM's Green Horizon initiative. Which examples do you believe best demonstrates the future direction of AI-powered sustainability, and what lessons can other industries take from it? Yes, thank you. So yes, I discussed about the Google, Microsoft. So there are some other strong examples of the future direction of AI sustainability. So it proves that sustainability can be achieved at a scale. Google's system, if we talk about, automatically shifts computing tasks to locations and times where renewable energy is most available. So this has already helped them reduce the data center emissions by up to 40% without compromising the performance. So this is important because it shows that you do not need to slow down operations to be green. AI can continuously optimize energy use in the background itself, and even the sustainability can be embedded into core business processes, not treated as a different or a separate initiative. And it even uses AI for real-time decision making. By sustainability challenges the energy demand, consumption peak, and even the emissions, all are dynamic. So Google's model represent hour by hour learning from energy market and the renewable supply patterns. This is going to represent the future as AI system that autonomously balance the efficiency, cost, and the environment impact in a real time. And it is a blueprint for the regenerative systems. Instead of just reducing the damage, it actively aligns digital operations with natural energy cycles. This is the essence, we can say, that of regenerative economies, which is going to come into three different parts. We call it as a RRO, that is restore, replenish, and optimize continuously. And when we talk about what other industries can learn, so they should learn that integrate sustainability into the core operations. Don't treat it as a CSR activity. Design AI in such a manner so that the operational decisions are optimized for both performance and the environmental outcome. Second thing I would like to suggest to the industry that real-time data is the new competitive advantage. Industries can use AI power monitoring to cut energy, predict resource demand, minimize the downtime, improve supply chain transparency. Just as Google use grid data, factories can use machine data. Farmers can use soil weather data for the studies, and the logistic firms, if we have, so they can use the real-time route data. So that would be for the advantage for different industry segments. Next would be that start with optimization, not overhaul. As Google did not rebuild its data center, it added on AI layer on top of it. Like most organizations can do the same, add AI-based energy management, AI forecasting to supply chains, and AI efficiency tools to machinery and the operations. It can lead to small changes, but big cumulative impact. And next would be regenerative thinking is the new standard. So I will just say that the goal is no longer do less harm. The goal is to automate the resource optimization, support renewable energy ecosystem, and design self-improving system. So just to end with that, so Google's carbon intelligence computing is not just a case study, it is a roadmap for other companies as well. It shows us that when AI and sustainability work together, efficiency, profitability, and environmental stewardship can all advance similarly. So that is the future every industry should aim for.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mahajan. I think I will take over as our moderator today have kind of a network issue. So yeah, as our Dr. Mahajan is our last keynote speakers, I would like to say that concludes our discussion with the keynote speakers and their outstanding presentations today. Once again, thank you to all the keynote speakers for sharing such valuable insight with us today. We hope their knowledge and experience will serve as an inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much to all the keynote speakers, and thank you so much again to Mr. Sandip. I think the separate ways is goes to because he has some network issue, but it's fine. I will take over. So very well, ladies and gentlemen, those were our 6 keynote speakers with very insightful presentation. I would like to inform you that next we will move to the parallel or the presentation session that will start at 1 p.m. Jakarta time. I would like to repeat that the next session is the parallel or the presentation session that will start at 1 p.m. Jakarta time. Before we move to the presentation session, please make sure to rename your Zoom display name accordingly to your role. All presenters can go to a certain Zoom room based on a presentation schedule. You can join the room by clicking the join button and you will be automatically joining your presentation room. After the presentation is finished, all presenters can come back to the main Zoom room for the closing remark. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would like to inform you. I think we still have some Q&A session. I would like to let all the participants, if all of you, if there's any question, you can type it by chat, and I would like to read it to our keynote speakers. I think we have question. Dr. Denny, are you still in Zoom for a while? Because we have a question for you, Dr. Denny Ho. Oh, I think Dr. Denny is already gone from Zoom. Maybe if there is any other question. Mr. Tarindo, are you still in the Zoom? We have question for you, Mr. Tarindo.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. So I would like to read the question. So the
Sure.
question is start with explaining that the quantum marketing emphasizes concepts such as superposition and entanglement to understand consumer behavior. Could you share a real-world example of how a brand successfully implemented these principles to create a more connected and personalized customer experience? The time is
For
yours,
sure.
Mr. Tarindo.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question, Alicia and the team. So basically, the superposition and entanglement, it's two different concepts. Superposition involves that understanding that the customer will be in different mindsets at different times and shifting between these, like buy, not to buy, that kind of a mindset all the time. The shift will be there. Entanglement simply means that organizations need to be connected with those different states to understand the customer better, and you can't say, okay, you have figured out the customer and get into a position of simply relaxing. So if you look at this further, what really happens is that if you take organizations like Amazon, once again, they keep running analytics on their existing customer base on a regular basis to understand in what state is this customer now, what we call as real-time marketing adaptation. Same thing is done by Netflix. They keep on analyzing to understand what exactly you want to see, what exactly viewing, what do you want to view, what kind of a entertainment mindset are you having. So, and the same thing will apply with even a non-digital company like Starbucks. They keep understanding how customers' coffee preferences are shifting almost on a monthly basis, and they keep adapting according to that. You go to a country like Singapore, the main products that they are promoting in this month will not be the same coffee product they are promoting the next month, right? So, as a result of it, we see organizations already showing an understanding of this superposition mindset, and also using the entanglement principle to connect with those better. And answering the second question, which is about rise of AI-driven hyper-personalization and customer data usage, how marketers can use it while still achieving innovation and competitive advantage while being ethical. I think being ethical will be the biggest source of advantage into the future. Already we see, like in my doctoral research, it's studying how, from the luxury hotel sector, how using ethical business practices and environmentally friendly practices and fintech practices will help to connect with young travelers better. That's my area of doctoral research. And with the rise of AI and this hyper personalization concept, marketers are basically there to ensure marketers continue to use AI analytics to understand what exactly matters to the customers of today. So when they are able to understand what exactly matters to the customer, they are able to adapt according to that, which gives them the advantage. If you take Sri Lanka, some hotel chains, they've understood that young travelers are more and more concerned about an environment's green practices than before. So when one of the biggest hotel chains in Sri Lanka, one of their properties based out of a national park, when they opted to remove plastic bottles and only go with glass bottles, they clearly saw travel agents who deal with young travelers from Europe who never even contacted this hotel early or didn't even look at them, started calling them and putting bookings for large groups. That simply goes on to show that using data analytics will help you to personalize what you offer different groups or niche groups of customers. And that same thing can be used to connect with the ethical, sustainable aspirations of those customer groups, which will end up becoming the biggest source of competitive advantage. I hope I answered the questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tarindo. You perfectly answered both questions at the same time and very well delivered. And I think the question is already answered too. For next question, I think for Mr. Theo, but Mr. Theo, are you still in the Zoom? I think Mr. Theo is already leaving, so we can jump to the next question for Dr. Samriti. Dr. Samriti Mahajan, are you still in the Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Samriti, there's a question for you. I would like to read it. So you discussed both the opportunities and the challenges at the intersection of AI and sustainability. In your point of view, what is the most urgent sustainability concern related to AI development today? And what steps should organization prioritize to address it effectively? Thank you, Dr. Mahajan. You can answer it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for such a nice question again. So when we think, so there are different parameters to talk upon AI sustainability, and people are really seeking for different segments that how it can be utilized, right? So in my view, the most urgent sustainability concern related to AI today is rapidly increasing the energy consumption of AI infrastructure, especially large scale model training and data center operation. We often talk about the AI's potential to accelerate sustainability, But the reality is that the computational power behind AI is growing much faster than our thinking ability to make it more energy efficient. If we do not address this now, AI may unintentionally become a contributor to the very climate challenges we are trying to solve. So, why this is the most urgent concern? Training a single large model can emit hundreds of thousands of tons of CO2, right? So, the global data centers could consume 10 to 20% of global electricity by 2030, which we already studied. So, AI demand is increasing exponentially. Every few months, models become bigger, faster, and more energy intensive. So, this means the sustainability challenge is not only static, but it is accelerating on a very high speed. So, what steps should organizations prioritize? So, they need to move to 100% renewable powered infrastructure. Organizations must transition data centers and AI operations to the renewable energy sources. This is the single biggest lever to cut emissions immediately. Second would be prioritize the green AI development. So we need to build models that are smaller, more efficient, organized through pruning, quantization, and the algorithm efficiency. Because bigger models are not always better. So we need to do the innovation that values efficiency as much as the accuracy. Third would be adopt transparent carbon accounting for AI so that the operational footprints across the AI life cycle can be seen. It could be measured because what gets measured automatically gets improved step by step. Fourth point would be shift from centralized training to the federated and edge AI. This is going to reduce the massive data transfers and uses the localized computing, which is far more energy efficient and privacy friendly. And they can also build the sustainability into the AI governance framework as how environmental is actually impacting, and it is a core part of AI strategy, not an after a thought, but even the every organization should ask, is our AI improving planetary health or straining it? So that would be the different concerns related to the today's AI development system, and it can really address properly. So to summarize, the most urgent sustainability concern is AI's escalating energy demand, which I have already shared many times. But with the right actions of renewable energy, green model design, sustainable carbon accounting, and efficient architectures, the AI can evolve into a technology that not only going to drive the innovation, but it is going to actively support a regenerative future. That's all from my end for the answer. I hope I answered it well, and it was articulated perfectly.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mahajan. You emphasize your answer alongside with your presentation earlier. So yeah, thank you so much. I think that will be all. There will be no more any question again, I guess. So I would like to inform you again, once again, as I said earlier, that next we will move to the parallel or the presentation session that will start at 1 p.m. Jakarta time. I repeat, the parallel session will be start at 1 p.m. Jakarta time. And before we move to the presentation session, please make sure to rename your Zoom display name accordingly to your role. All presenters can go to a certain Zoom room based on a presentation schedule. You can join the room by clicking the join button and you will be automatically joining your presentation room. After the presentation is finished, all presenters can come back to the main Zoom room for the closing remark. Thank you. Gentlemen, we have now reached the end of the 2025 5th WIMAYA International Conference. On behalf of the organizer, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to all session chairs, speakers, and participants for your valuable contribution and enthusiastic participation. We hope this event has been meaningful and beneficial for everyone involved. For documentation purposes, we kindly request all participants to turn on their cameras so that we can capture this moment together. I think Miss Alisa will take over for a while for this session. Go ahead, Miss Alisa.
Thank you, Mr. Dandi. So for all participants, please turn on your camera. Okay, I will wait for a second. Okay, please get ready on 3, 2, 1. Okay, next on 3, 2, 1. And then next gallery, 3, 2, 1. Next on 3, 2, 1. Next 3, 2, 1. And the last 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Mr. Dandi.
Thank you so much, Miss Alisa. And I'm very pleased right now to announce the the four best presenter of this conference. I repeat, I'm very pleased right now to announce the four best presenters of this conference. And our first best presenter is Mrs. Dwike Rahmaningtyas from UPN Veteran Yogyakarta. And the second best presenter is Isabel Agustina Zaka from President University. And the third one of the best presenter of this conference is Mrs. Purbudi Wahyuni from UPN Veteran Yogyakarta. And the last one of our best presenter of this conference is CV Srivastava from EMS Ghaziabad Business School, India. So congratulations to the winners. Its best presenters will receive a certificate which will be sent via email after the event. I would also like to invite you to share the photos taken during the event on your Instagram and use the hashtag 2025 WIMAYA, hashtag FEB UPN Yogyakarta, hashtag info AIBPM, and hashtag info for academia. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at AIBPM.conference and subscribe to our channel at AIBPM Talk Series, where you can stay updated on our events, publication opportunities, and watch recording from our conference. Once again, I would like to express our sincere thanks to UPN Veteran Yogyakarta and AIBPM for their valuable contribution to this event. Last but not least, I am Dandi. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward to seeing you again at our next conference. Thank you.